Hello everyone, we are back in the bathroom because it's time for a bathroom talk, just the two of us, right? I decided to do a new video because I got some positive feedback and comments on the video I did yesterday. And this time I wanted to talk about a very sensitive topic, which is mental health in relationships in the context where you are maybe with someone who is struggling with mental health issues, depression, personality disorder, you name it. So I'm not a psychologist. I don't know all the names for that, but literally when you are with someone who is struggling mentally and not going well. The first thing is you've probably noticed that your friend, partner, or family member, but let's focus more on the partner side, has been struggling and has changed some of their behaviors. And it all starts with small little things. Maybe the person is withdrawing, being in their own world, being more quiet. But the first thing I'd like to say, and it's based on experience, please do not think that everything they do is a result or consequence of their mental struggle. They might truly struggle, but it's not because they do something a little bit different that it's necessarily because they are depressed or whatever. So just be very careful, because then you will start analyzing, overthinking, and misunderstanding, and that's very stressful for the other person. It puts a lot of pressure on them, and then it can create a big complication. The other things very important to keep in mind is you need to be very patient. And when I say patience, I really weight my words. I mean patience, as in patient. Mental health issues are not resolved within just a few hours or a few days or even weeks, as much as we would like that. That's not the case. And trust me, you are going to fall into the trap of wanting to fix the person, to help them, to tell them to see a professional, to ask them questions in a very short time. And that's going to be too much for their brain to take. Really sorry. It's a lot of pressure, and then it's going to blow up in your face, just because, if someone is already trapped in their mind, you are just adding on the pressure. What I'm saying it really clearly right now with a very clear mind, but when you are in the situation, I know you are going to go for it. You're going to try to just rescue that person, and it's just not going to work. When I talk about patience, the person that you are with and who is struggling might need to go from the realization stage to the decision-making stage of going and truly going to see a professional. So that can last a long time. So if you've been waiting for maybe, a year for the person to seek help, your patience after 1 year is going to be super thin. So if you blow up yourself, if you have no more patience, please be gentle with yourself. It's normal if you've been waiting a long time where you had to change your behavior to try to adapt, or just not be yourself 100%. At the end of this waiting period, you are just going to blow up. So you really need to step back. Another thing to keep in mind, to come back to that, the first thing to ask yourself is, are you willing to go through that journey with your partner? Because I remember that some people say, that you either are equipped with the right skills to do that and the right patience, or you're not. And if you're not, you won't be able to really adapt yourself and to give the right support to the person. And we are not all equipped for that. So it's up to you to decide what you want to do and how you want to approach things. Another important point and I think this is super important, is the fact that your mind right now may, as a fully functioning person, is very clear. You're logical thinking. For you, things are obvious, and as much as you want to explain things to your partner, friends or family members, wherever they are, these people who are struggling, like anybody under stress, will not have a fully functioning mind, and they will have a lot of cloudiness in their mind. So they are, as much as you are explaining very clearly, you're very fast in your thinking, you actually can't expect the same of the other person. They won't be able to keep up with your pace, with your reasoning, with your thinking, with your logic. You won't. And if you're really stuck in it, you yourself won't understand why they can't understand something that sometimes is so obvious. But it's just because they can't think right now. They are under a huge amount of stress, and it's cloudy. Maybe they feel numb in their mind, in their heart. Please don't take it personally, because we all take things personally, and it's not personal. But it's easier said than done, especially if you're stuck in the situation and that you've never before had situations or dealt with someone who is struggling mentally or has a trauma or stress, like very different situations from whatever you've experienced before. So don't be too harsh with yourself if you just don't follow that. What else? You may feel like you're walking on eggshell and everything you say kind of blows up in your face. And what is important to keep in mind is, you might question yourself, or maybe I didn't ask the right way, maybe I shouldn't have asked that, maybe shouldn't have said that. And trust me, the moment you start questioning yourself and these kind of things, you start adapting yourself too much to the other person, and you're not true to yourself. You're basically not yourself, and you end up having completely different behavior, not recognizing yourself. You are basically losing yourself as much as the other person is losing himself, and the both of you are just going to go down and down and down, and to a point where, unfortunately, maybe love is just not enough to fix things. You are not. That's the concept of reality as well that I wanted to bring up. When someone is not well mentally, their mind is cloudy, their interpretation of the facts are not necessarily the absolute truth. Two people means two different realities, and the way they think about something that happened, or the way they think, I don't know if that makes sense. Sorry. The way they see things might not be reality, and you have your own reality. What they say doesn't have to be the truth. So just separate the fact. You know what happened. You know what happened according to you. What they say, maybe it's true, maybe not, but just be careful, right? Because if you are a listener, you are always taking into account what people say, and they are your partner, so you want to believe them, right? You want to believe what they feel. You want to believe it's true, that it's honest. But remember that person's mind is very cloudy. They are under a lot of stress, and who knows how the brain is working. Same goes for you, by the way. But just make sure you detach yourself from what the person is saying, and whether they say to you, whether they say to other people, try not to take into account that. Okay, you know what you feel, you know who you are, you know what you've done, you know what you haven't done. What else? I'm trying to think. There was some other things I wanted to talk about. You might feel guilty of not being able to help the person. And if you've never experienced this situation before, your first reaction again will be able to help the person. But remember, even though that's not what I wish you are just an extra burden sometimes for the other person. And I'm telling you this again in terms of experience. You are adding on top of everything else. And you know, the more you do that, the more the person is going to pull away. And the more the person is going to pull away, the more you might just keep going after that person, saying, oh, but please, can't you see? You should see someone, you're not feeling well, look at us. Like, it's just going to create like a really crazy mess. So, you might want to jump in the situation, but I don't recommend to do that. It's literally going to blow up in your face, and it's going to make everybody super stressed. Again, what I'm saying in this is it's a really stuck situation, and only the person you're dealing with, only that person is able to help themselves. If they don't want to, there's nothing you can do. You will fight and lose your mind if you just try to fix other people. And yeah, if remember, if the person walks away, like from you, temporarily or forever, please just try to remember that maybe they just didn't know how to help themselves. Maybe they felt ashamed for what they did. Maybe you just pushed too much, but you were just trying to help. Whatever this is, remember that only them can fix their own issues and their own mind. Sometimes people have to separate because they have to resolve something that they cannot resolve in a relationship. And maybe that's the only thing you can wish them. And that's what I'm wishing to many people. And it's okay, you know, don't, if that's the case, that things are very extreme, don't put so much blame on yourself. I'm sure you've done the best you could, right? If you love the person, and sometimes, you know, like I said, love is just not enough. And yeah, that person who is struggling has to deal with their issues themselves. If you have lost yourself, because when we are with someone who struggles, we really tend to, you know, center our life around them. And friends, family can tell you that it's not okay, but that's what happens when you live 24 hours, 7 days a week with someone. It's so weird to detach yourself and to go, oh yeah, I'm going to go and have fun, I'm going to go on a holiday. It's, you know, you feel guilty, and you might want to really save your relationship and save the person. And it's normal. I think it's normal to, even though it's not the right way, but it's normal, it's natural to go after the person and want to help them, especially if you've never been exposed to this kind of situations before. And again, it's not an excuse, but it's a fact, it's a reality. Theory is great, but practical things and fact are what matters. So once you've been in this situation, after, you might think more clearly about the right way, the do's and the don't, or the do and the don't, I don't know how we say that. But yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna stop the video here. This is like 13 minutes. Maybe you fell asleep, I don't know. I hope you have a good night or a good day wherever you are, and I will speak to you soon. Please take care, be gentle with yourself, and yeah, it's gonna be okay. Bye.